Imagine this. You're one of Hollywood's biggest stars. You've had a successful TV career, and now, you're about to audition for a role that could define the next 2 decades of your life. But there's a twist. You're not the only one in the running. 2 Oscar-winning actors want the same part. This is exactly what happened to Mark Harmon. And what's even more shocking, he beat both of them. The role. Special Agent Leroy Jethro Gibbs from NCIS, a character that became iconic and made Mark Harmon a household name. But who were those Oscar winners? And why did Harmon come out on top? You're about to find out. Buckle up, because this story dives deep behind the scenes of NCIS, casting secrets, and career-defining moments. Before NCIS made him a television legend, Mark Harmon already had an impressive career. He was named People magazine's Sexiest Man Alive in 1986 and starred in shows like Saint Elsewhere, Chicago Hope, and Reasonable Doubts. Known for his all-American looks and calm intensity, Harmon had built a resume of dependable, no-nonsense characters. But even then, he wasn't the obvious first choice for Gibbs. The creators of NCIS, especially Donald P. Bellisario, knew they needed someone who could bring a layered complexity to a former Marine sniper turned NCIS special agent, someone with a quiet authority. Harmon fit the mold perfectly, but he wasn't the only contender. The early 2000s were flooded with crime dramas. CBS was hunting for its next big hit to follow CSI. When NCIS was greenlit, executives knew that casting the lead role would make or break the show. Dozens of actors auditioned, including some of the industry's biggest names. 2 Oscar winners, whose identities were closely guarded at the time, also threw their hats into the ring. These weren't just random choices. These actors had the range, the accolades, and the fan bases that could have elevated NCIS to immediate primetime gold. So why did Harmon, who at that time had no Oscar and wasn't a blockbuster name, beat them? So, who were these 2 Oscar winners Mark Harmon beat? 1. Tommy Lee Jones. Best known for The Fugitive and No Country for Old Men, Jones was seriously considered. His tough, steely demeanor seemed tailor-made for Gibbs. But there was a problem. Jones wasn't keen on long-term TV commitments. CBS was looking for a series lead, not just a high-profile name. Harmon, on the other hand, was fully ready to commit. He had the stamina, passion, and availability. To Kevin Spacey. Before his fall from grace, Spacey was one of Hollywood's top talents. He won Oscars for The Usual Suspects and American Beauty. Rumor has it that his name came up during initial talks. But producers feared he would overshadow the show. Spacey's style leaned toward dominance, the kind of presence that could derail the ensemble balance NCIS needed. In contrast, Mark Harmon offered something subtler, a strong foundation without stealing every scene. He wasn't flashy. He was grounded, authentic, and gave Gibbs the realism fans came to love. Donald P. Bellisario has gone on record saying Harmon reminded him of the quiet heroes, people who don't show off but get the job done. And when Harmon guest-starred as Gibbs in Jag, the NCIS backdoor pilot, the chemistry was immediate. Fans loved him. Test audiences approved. And CBS executives knew they had their man. But Harmon also transformed during the audition process. He showed layers of emotion, control, and leadership that even the Oscar winners couldn't match in the screen tests. Harmon became Gibbs before the show even started. He wasn't acting the role. He was the role. When NCIS launched in 2003, expectations were modest. Critics were skeptical, calling it just another procedural. But Harmon's portrayal of Gibbs changed everything. Fans didn't just watch the show, they connected to Gibbs. His rules, his loyalty, his quiet pain. All of it felt real. And that's thanks to Harmon's steady performance. While other shows burned bright and faded, NCIS endured, becoming one of the longest-running dramas in American TV history. Let's be honest. If either of those Oscar winners had taken the role, would NCIS still be here today? Maybe. But it probably wouldn't have felt the same. Mark Harmon brought something no Oscar could guarantee. Consistency. He gave NCIS an emotional center, a moral compass, and a leadership style that balanced drama with subtlety. It's no coincidence that when Harmon began stepping back from the show in season 19, fans feared it would collapse. That's how important he became, not just to the cast but to the culture of NCIS. Today, even after stepping down as a series regular, Harmon is still considered the heart of NCIS. His portrayal of Gibbs influenced countless spin-offs, inspired real-life fans of law enforcement, and helped build a franchise worth billions. And it all started with one decision: CBS choosing him over two Oscar-winning actors. That choice changed TV history. If you're still with us, you know the story of how Mark Harmon beat out two Hollywood heavyweights to become one of TV's most iconic characters. It wasn't about fame or awards, it was about being the right man for the job. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories and NCIS secrets you won't hear anywhere else. See you in the next one.